Hi, today I want to check with you the article that you have in your book on page 51. The title of this article is Life After People and it was written by the author Dolores Vasquez. This is a type of fiction text which is going to explain certain things or it's going to give certain information about a prediction that I want you to make before we go into the topic. I want you to tell me what do you think would happen if there is no life on Earth? Think about it and please write it down in your folder with your pages. And then you're going to be reporting that to me in the platform. Okay, then let's continue. I want you to accompany me with the reading of the text. I'm going to be reading aloud so you can listen to my pronunciation and you can read at the same time. It says, page 51, background. Human beings are a very recent arrival on Earth. In fact, many archaeologists estimate that Homo sapiens have been here for about 200,000 years, a fraction of the lifetime of Earth. Approximately 4.6 billion years. In those 200,000 years, human beings have left their mark on the planet. But what would happen if we suddenly disappeared? The article below, accompanied by photographs from History television show Life After People, illustrates what a planet without people might look like. Life After People. Article by Dolores Vasquez. What would the world be like if people suddenly disappeared? Imagine the immediate consequences: wrecks from driverless cars and planes, saucepans boiling over, startled dogs dragging their leashes down deserted streets. But what happens later? Without people to fuel them, power plants stop providing electricity within hours. We use electricity to make toast and to power TVs and computers. But the absence of electric energy has huge effects on an Earth void of human population. Without electricity, gas tanks are not kept cold. Gases such as chlorine and natural gas heat up and escape the tanks into the air. Animals die from the red chlorine fumes, and the natural gas causes explosions and uncontrolled fires. Within days, treatment facilities are at standstill and sewage begins to poison rivers and lakes. By the end of the first week, pets have run out of food in their homes, must escape and try to survive in the new environment. The larger dogs from packs and prey on smaller animals. Dairy cattle die of thirst in their pens, and their bodies may provide food for scavenging dogs. Cows that were raised as food, however, will eventually establish huge herds on the plains, reinterpreting the lifestyle of the buffalo in the 1800s. Zoo animals that had been restrained by electric fences wandered city streets. But within weeks, many animals leave the cities to the mice, rats, and squirrels. Meanwhile, at nuclear power plants, the cooling ponds for spent fuel rods get hotter and hotter. Soon the water boils away and the rods cause fires and release radiation into the air. When it is carried by the wind, plants and animals in affected areas die. After several months, the radiation in the air is no longer a danger, and those animals that have survived begin to follow their new lives. And by the end of a year, rains have washed the radioactive pollution from the surface of the land. Over the next 15 years, the roads get overgrown and cracked. Yards and gardens grow wild, and some animals make their homes in urban areas. Packs of dogs still roam the cities and countryside. Some sports stadiums become giant bat caves. As time passes, the roofs of buildings cave in, and trees and other plants grow in what used to be the indoors. Windows fall, paint is eroded, and concrete cracks. Plants begin to blanket the cities. Pet parrots, whose lifespan can be 60 years, may form flocks still speaking the words they had been taught by their human owners. Between 50 and 100 years after the disappearance of human beings, skyscrapers begin to tumble, bridges fall, the hulks of cars and buses start to disintegrate. The packs of dogs have reverted to their origins. They are no longer German Shepherds or Dobermans, but a single species more like a wolf. In cooler climates, the mighty cockroach meets its end. It cannot survive in unheated buildings. After 250 years, the Statue of Liberty loses its torch. Old stone buildings have outlasted the toppled glass skyscrapers, especially as acid rain is no longer eroding them, but they are hidden under a mass of vegetation. Forests cover the eastern states, and over the next 250 years they return almost to the way they were 10,000 years ago. It looks as though we had never been here. All right, so this was the complete text or article written by, as I said before, Dolores Vasquez. Now we are going to be working on something which is called the central idea. The central idea is not more than just the main topic and everything that surrounds it. What is the text really about? That will be your central idea. In the book, you get some parts in where you have to write and underline central idea. So you're going to be working on that, but I have to post these instructions for you in the platform. Let's move on, and then I have another thing that I want you to check with me. This is cause and effect. What is cause and effect? This is a reading skill that you have probably seen before, and it's just something that is going to help you understand better your text. In this article, we can find plenty of causes and effects. Basically, a cause and effect is going to explain why something happens. There must be a cause, and then you would have a result, which is the effect. If we go, for example, to page 52, where it says line 21, meanwhile, at nuclear power plants, the cooling points for spent fuel rods get hotter and hotter. Soon the water boils away and the rods cause fires and release radiation into the air. In these three lines, you have cause and effect. So the effect is literally just the result. In this case, it will be the pollution of the air by radiation, and the cause would be the explosion of nuclear power plants and contamination of some water resources as well. So I wanted to check that on that page 52 for the example. In the same way, you're going to have some practices in the book to know how to work with this reading skill. Let's move on. And then for our formative practice, I want you to go to page 53, part 4, that says, list several cause and effect relationship to show a connection between events. So what you have to do there is basically go and check different lines in where cause and effect is evident. And then you're going to list 3 of them here, okay? With this, we will finish for today. And please, if you have any doubt, text. You can text in my email and send me your questions. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.